Welcome back. Well, the Prime Minister has been criticised for a tone-deaf joke about killing off the live export trade at a black tie dinner last night. Here he was.
When we had dinner, beautiful Australian beef, not the live export, we made sure it was dead.
And that was said in front of a room full of farmers. At least one tweeted to criticise him. Let's bring in tonight's political panel, National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie and Labor MP Josh Burns. Bridget, according to the Nightly, which has run this audio, farmers were offended by this joke because it's a sore point in a major way that the live sheep trade has been killed off by the Albanese government. What did you make of his failed joke there?
Yeah, look, Shari, I was in the room at the time. There were over 600 rural and regional Australians there to celebrate women in agriculture and our leaders. And for the PM to give such a tone-deaf response about the live cattle trade, I thought was appalling, particularly in the light of when he made that comment. He was talking about his dinner he'd just had previously with the Indonesian incoming leader. And when you remember the last time Labor was in government, they shut down the live cattle trade and shut off protein to our nearest neighbour, Indonesia, which caused quite the crisis. And we're still mopping up from at an economic and a social level. This government has cut the live sheep trade in WA, which is an appalling decision, and is having repercussions right throughout Western Australia, not just primary producers, but our truckies and the suburbs of Perth are appalled by this behaviour. And for him to joke about it, says this Prime Minister thought he was speaking and had to apologise about live export as if he was speaking to Marrickville vegans instead of a group of people packed into a Parliament House who are very proud of our red meat trade, including our live export trade.
Josh Burns, do you think it's understandable that farmers are annoyed by this?
Well, good evening, Shari, and good evening, Bridget. Look, I don't think the Prime Minister meant any offence by his comments. I would say a couple of things. One is that, obviously we support Australian agriculture and Australian businesses, but at the last election we made it clear that we were going to end the live sheep export. Industry was already shrinking dramatically, and that they were given plenty of opportunities to clean up their act. There was too many instances where
and they did that, Josh.
Bridge, I promise you I won't interrupt you, but let me finish my sentence. And so there were plenty of chances for the live sheep industry to clean up their act, but there just wasn't a safe way of taking these sheep across to the Middle East in the soaring heat. I mean, it was torturing these things. So we said what we were going to do, and we did exactly that. We've put the legislated date to 2028. We've created a package of transition for industry. I know it's hard for a lot of people, and I don't celebrate that. I mean, I know it's a difficult decision, and that's what government is sometimes, but we said we were going to do it, and we did it.
Bridget, do you think if the coalition won the next election, you might overturn that ban?
Oh, absolutely. We've already made that commitment. If we have the great honour and privilege of being in government again, we will be overturning that ban. But what Josh completely misses the point here. The reality is the Prime Minister was talking about Australian beef when he joked about the issues with live export, as if there was something to be ashamed of, that it was okay to eat abattoir beef but not live export beef. And that is the appalling decision. Everyone is appalled by the sheep ban, but the fear is that the Labor Party has the same view about our cattle trade. And our cattle trade keeps our nearest neighbour, Indonesia, in clean, green Aussie beef and protein, which is exactly what they need. So,
and there have been reports that activists,
the thin edge of the wedge.
There have been reports that activists might start to target beef exports next.